Hi guys, Alex Taylor down at Living Golf Academy, and today we're going to see if one length irons are easier to hit than standard variable length. Right then guys, so if you're returning to my channel, thanks for coming back, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe below, click the notification bell to make sure you get notification of every time I release a video. Please comment as much as you can and I will get back to as many of you as possible. But for now, let's see if one length irons are easier to hit than more traditional variable length irons. Right then guys, so we're going to see if one length or variable traditional length irons, which are easier to use. Now I've set the target just over 200 yards, 205 yards. Now the little challenge is I can't hit the exact same iron here just because I hit my Ping i500s a little bit longer. So I'm going to hit 5 iron from here. I'm going to hit 4 iron with my Cobras. So 5 shots, and let's see. Can't really call them long irons because obviously with the Cobra stuff they're all one length, but in theory the longer iron, or that will hit the ball longer. Let's see which is easiest. And certainly for me there, 5 iron feels nice and easy. I mean, I think it does help these being hollow head. Even the ones that are a little bit off centre, I still get some pretty good performance. And if I look at the distances there, I know obviously one in the water, but distances wise, pretty good. So if we switch over onto the Cobra, and it is weird because even though this is 7 iron length, it feels so short, particularly when you know kind of plays a 4 iron. So I think for anyone who's not played with variable lengths, who's very new to golf, I think the one length is very, very easy to get used to. I think if you've played for a while, it's a little bit more time to get used to it. But let's go 5 shots, one length 4 iron. You know, and for me there, the logic with this being shorter, more 7 iron length, or exactly 7 iron length, makes complete sense, but I still find it that little bit easier with something a bit longer in my hand, something more traditional, maybe because I'm used to that. But for me, from this particular test, I found my Ping i500 a little bit easier than my Cobra King forged one length. So let's switch over on 7 iron, same test, kind of just over 170 this time. Still probably expecting my i500s just to be a couple of yards longer, but not seeing the gap quite as big. So again, we'll go with the Ping first, variable length. Actually both the same length now, the 7 irons, but that's by the by. easy. And to be fair, obviously most of my review videos are on 7-iron, so I'd expect to be pretty decent with those. But onto the Cobra, shouldn't really feel any difference. Just be interesting to see if the trajectory is any different with these clubs. Yeah, so nothing really in it. If anything, probably for me just felt that hit, and this is more down to the model than being variable against one length, probably just felt that hit my i500s a little bit higher, and particularly saw that in the longer iron, kind of 5-iron against 4-iron. Should expect all clubs to peak around the same height, but definitely feel I get a little bit more out of my current compared to my older set. So let's flick across to wedge. Kind of going to be just under 140, so 135 yardage. Hit 5 shots again, variable length against one length. Right then, so obviously in variable length the wedge is shorter, but because I've played so long with variable, it doesn't feel short, just feels normal. And again, quite like that. Most of my golf, all except for last year, I've always played variable length. Really, as I'd expect, wedge short, lots of loft, should be some decent control there, but moving over onto the one length wedge, even though I have got experience with this, it does feel long. You know, it does feel like the club head's a long way away from my hands here at address, but let's go 5 shots, see how it performs. Right then, so even though I would still say I'm not completely used to that being that length with a wedge, do find it amazingly consistent with strike, length that I hit the shot and the control I get with the golf ball. So all in all, I think it's a bit of a mixture. You know, I'll probably find the longer irons easier in standard, and yet probably find the wedge easier in one length. So I'm not saying I'd mix and match, but it's definitely an interesting thing. And I think any of you guys trying new product, if you try in one length and then obviously try in variable, traditional stuff, it'd be interesting to see what your results will be like. Right guys, so we can see there, I mean I always find this a little bit interesting because for me the theory with one length should be that kind of 4-5 iron should be that much easier to hit because the club being shorter should be easier to control, but I don't know whether it's just because I've played for so long with kind of more traditional stuff, but I definitely find once you get into a more standard length 4-iron, I find that easier, or 5-iron in that case, to hit a more consistent shot from there. I don't dislike the one length with the 4-iron, but I just find it's a little bit easier, a bit more comfortable with me with the variable stuff. 7-iron, don't really see any difference, as you'd expect, because they're exactly the same. But certainly, and this was the surprising thing for me, I actually find the one length wedge remarkably easy to hit. I don't know whether that's because, certainly as a kid, I was never the best wedge player in the world, but I feel I'm good with wedges now, but I do feel the one length pitching wedge, my consistency generally feels really, really good. But guys, if you're in the market and you're not sure about one length or variable, you need to get along, get fitted, test the stuff side by side, see which works best for yourselves. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and share it, comment below, I'll get back to as many people as possible. Subscribe to my channel if you don't already. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here in the future. Stay in contact.